Well, tonight there's someone we want you to meet. A high school senior with big plans for Cleveland. But as Andrew Horansky explains, he'll have to finish Harvard first.
Wanula Obasa had tough choices to make after every college he applied to accepted him.
Brown University, Stanford University, Ohio State, Yale University, and Harvard.
Case 2. This fall, he's headed to Harvard, pre-med. The goal to one day come back and serve the underserved.
I eventually want to go to medical school and become an OBGYN. And after practicing for him for a couple of years, I want to enter public policy to help advocate for universal health care and to try to fix our healthcare system and the problems in it.
Something he knows something about, noticing a disparity between white mothers and African-American mothers after his brother spent time in a NICU. But there's more.
The end goal would definitely be in politics and try to help change society for the better.
The son of Nigerian immigrants, the 17-year-old said his mother inspired him. A breath of fresh air at a time some parents stirred national outrage, buying their kids spots in elite schools. Still, there is pressure.
It's not just me going to Harvard, but there's also a community behind me who will have expectations from me.
High hopes, because even here at the Cleveland School of Science and Medicine on the campus of John Hay, not everyone gets this chance. Those who do don't always have others in mind. Obasa knows this isn't just about getting into a good school. It's about using what he gets to build a better world. Andrew Horansky, Channel 3 News.
Pretty inspiring. Well, Obasa will also be the first in his family to attend an American college.